There are some dates that you never forget. You remember where you were, how you felt, who you were with. And September 11th was one of those for all of us, especially if you live in the United States of America. I was in Chicago preparing for a meeting of just a handful of pastors who were each thinking about doing church in more than one location. It was the beginning of multi site, but for our country, it was much bigger than that. We stood in unbelief as we watched the towers in New York crumble and fall. And I remember feeling alarm and disbelief, vulnerability, fear, anger, all of those at the same time. We didn't know what the future held. For some that I've met since that day, it was even more personal. They lost friends and loved ones in those towers or in the wars that followed. In fact, just this week, I met a man who was on the 24th floor of the first tower. He was fortunate enough to get out, as were two of his siblings, but unfortunately, he now carries the memory of that day in a disease in his lungs that's already claimed loved ones. His memories are different and much more personal than mine. That day changed so much about our lives. It changed the way we travel, the way we see the world, and to some degree, the way we see ourselves. For a short period of time, it brought us together. It clarified the important and necessary from the mundane and the trivial. But over time and space, we all went back to a semblance, at least, of what we knew before. And today, on this Wednesday of Remembrance, I just want to challenge you to do just that, to stop and remember. Maybe you want to whisper a prayer of gratitude for the fact that you are alive to watch this video. And because you are, you have purpose and you have meaning. Take time to remember those who aren't with us anymore, some who are not here, some who gave their lives willingly for those who had no choice. And then take a minute to reflect on what really matters. That's the value of these moments. That's what they do. And don't let this one pass you by. See, I believe that we have more in common than we think. Allow this day to sharpen your focus on what unites us rather than what divides us. Remember that even in polarizing times, we are one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. So take a little time today to remember so that in the future we never forget.